Hello, Periscope family. My name is Adama Hamadi, and I am your delicious living coach. I work with people pleasers and approval addicts to help them unhook. Hey, Danny Bloom, to help them unhook from other people's expectations of them so that they can pursue their dreams unapologetically and savor a life that feels good for them. So today's scope, I hope, should be really short. I'm just here to teach you how to stop self-sabotage in its tracks. Self-sabotage is something that is very human, very common. It happens so often, and it ruins a lot of dreams. So I really think it's important that we get clear on how to stop that. So let's be clear about what self-sabotage is. Self-sabotage is any behavior that interferes with your long-standing goals or commitments. So here's what a commitment cycle normally looks like. Normally, you make some lofty promise. You put in a little bit of work toward that promise. You're feeling good about yourself. And then all of a sudden, because life happens, you fall short of perfection. You judge yourself for falling off the wagon. You abandon your commitment because you feel like you're a failure. And then you kind of sit in this pool of self-pity where you feel like, oh, I can never do this again. That's the normal commitment cycle. So every time you go through one commitment cycle, you tell yourself a story. You create a story about what happened and why you weren't able to fill that commitment or fulfill on that commitment. But every time you retell that story, it's like replaying a shame tape in your head over and over again. You may decide that your story is, I failed because I'm a failure, or I failed because I don't deserve to succeed, or I failed because I'm not worthy of success, right? But every time you retell that story, you're conditioning yourself to believe that you actually don't deserve to succeed. And if you tell yourself that story often enough, you will start to unconsciously and subconsciously attract things to your life that will ruin your chances of actually fulfilling on that commitment. Self-sabotage is a crazy thing because it gets you to a point where you would rather prove yourself right about being a failure than actually have to put in the work of not failing. Self-sabotage is a really powerful thing in that way. So I want to help as many people as I can to understand exactly how to stop self-sabotage so that you are getting to a place where you are above and beyond what you thought you couldn't do. The only way to interrupt self-sabotage and to stop it in its tracks is by acknowledging what your hidden commitments are. So we all have real commitments and things that we say are important to us and things that we say we want to get done, right? But self-sabotage only works if we have a deeper hidden commitment to not succeed. Let me give an example. I claim to be committed to losing some weight so I look better in a bikini, right? That's my out loud commitment, right? But my hidden commitment is enjoying food that tastes good. Because I say that I want to lose weight, right? But I bet if you walked into this room with a pint of Ben & Jerry's Cinnamon Buns ice cream, I would eat that bitch. Like, give me a spoon, I'm going to town. It's done, right? Because I'm more committed to eating food that tastes good and enjoying good food than slimming down a couple pounds. I've decided it's not actually that important. It'd be cool if I could, but it's not super crucial to me, right? Another example that's a lot more near and dear to my heart, if I may be transparent, is that I claimed for a long time to be committed to building my tribe as a delicious living coach. And I claimed that I wanted to put myself out there. I was more committed to putting myself out there and to building a tribe and building a following and getting people to believe in me and my brand as a delicious living coach. That was my out loud commitment. But my hidden commitment for a very long time was looking good, never looking bad, never being embarrassed or rejected, right? And it wasn't until I acknowledged that I was more committed to protecting myself from shame than to building my tribe that I was able to hold myself accountable. The moment that I acknowledged my hidden commitment to protecting myself from shame and failure was the moment that I was able to be more present for my business and able to make a bigger impact. I am working with approval addicts to help them unhook from other people's expectations, right? But I was so caught up in wanting to make sure that I met other people's expectations of what a delicious living coach should be or look like or live like, right? So by acknowledging that hidden commitment to protecting myself from that criticism, I was able to play bigger and be more authentic. And so in order for you to go on that journey, there are 3 very important questions that you need to ask yourself. Once you're able to answer these questions, you'll be able to stop self-sabotage in its tracks and keep it moving. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what have I been inauthentic about? What have I been pretending, right? The second question is, what is the reality behind that? What is the actual truth? And the third is, what has it been costing you to be inauthentic? So let me answer those questions myself so I can be transparent and so y'all know I'm not bullshitting out here. So I had been pretending that I wanted to put myself out there and establish my brand as a delicious living coach, when in fact I was playing small by doing lots of busy work and never actually putting myself out there. That way I wouldn't have to be criticized or put on the spot, right? And by being inauthentic, it was costing me everything. It was costing me my credibility as a delicious living coach. It was costing me that success that would come from knowing that I was finally free from the need to get approval or validation from other people. It was costing me money, because I wasn't able to get the coaching clients that I wanted because I wasn't willing to embarrass myself a little bit by putting myself out there, right? So the 3 questions that you need to ask yourself in order to acknowledge your hidden commitments, to bring those hidden commitments to light, and to stop those self-sabotaging behaviors in their tracks are: 1, what have I been pretending or what have I been inauthentic about? 2, what is the reality? And 3, what has it cost me to be inauthentic? Once you are able to answer those 3 questions, honey bun, you are on the road to self-expression. You are on the road to freedom because you won't need anyone else's validation when you know what's most important to you. When you're actually committed to something, you work to make it easy to get it done. But if you keep getting in your own way, it's because something in your head has made you decide that you don't actually deserve it. I'm here to tell you you deserve it. I'm here to tell you to go for yours and live deliciously. This is Adama Hamadi, your delicious living coach. Get yours and live deliciously, boo. Peace.